Welcome back to the channel. My name is Predator Gaming. Today we're going to be talking about a topic that has come up a lot in my life recently, and that is the theory or the concept of being comfortable being uncomfortable. So it's a pretty straightforward theory, I would think. It's being okay with things that make you not comfortable in life, whatever that is. So this topic kept coming up more so I do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu a couple times a week, and I competed in May. I'm gearing up to compete again this month of October. So the concept keeps coming up in like our after class talks about being comfortable, being uncomfortable, and how combat sports can help that. And I'll be making a video on that in the future, somewhere down the line. I don't know when yet, but I wanted to get this concept out. So being comfortable, being uncomfortable. So uncomfortability could be a numerous volume of things, and it's a lot more prevalent when we're children, right? Because our parents want us to play different sports. Like I grew up playing basketball with my father. So playing anything else, like trying out for the football team, or trying to impress the girl on the tennis team by trying to learn how to play tennis, or kickball, or dodgeball, or softball, baseball, whatever the case was, trying these new things as I got older. Even Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu was wildly uncomfortable for me the first time I went out on a mat. So it's a lot more prevalent when we're kids to be put in those uncomfortable situations, but I think it's more important for adults to try these new things and become uncomfortable when you're an adult, because of the fact that you're not being pushed into it. And a lot of people you'll find will be 45, 50 years old and have spent the last 20, 30 years of their life doing roughly the same thing that they were doing when they were 20, 21, when nobody was forcing them into anything new. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'll probably still be playing basketball when I'm 50 years old. I don't see anything wrong with that. Will I be, trying to choke somebody out on a Tuesday night after work? Probably not at 50 years old. But I'll keep trying to do new things, whatever that case is. But you'll see as you get older, and for the kids listening, or even the young adults listening, like I'm 27, so I'm not saying I have 30, 40 years of wisdom built in me. But it's more important to become comfortable with being uncomfortable as you become an adult, because you're going to have those times where you transition to a new job, and everybody feels that way. I know people that have been at their same jobs that are 40-some years old, been at this job for 20 years, and they don't deal with any self-reflection at all. They think their world is perfect and everything's okay the way it is. And that's not okay, because when you stop growing as a person, you stop progressing in life. Now, there are people that are okay with being the same person they were when they were 25, but I think that's more detrimental to the people around them than anything else, because eventually the people around you are either going to be that way and you guys are going to grow old and be miserable together as a group, or you're going to lose friends. And when you tell the stories, to be like, oh yeah, Johnny Appleseed went to New York to become a big time lawyer, and Christina from down the block moved out to California, now she's an artist or whatever, and I'm still here, manager of McDonald's or whatever. Like, that's not, I don't want to use that job title as a condescending thing. I was a manager at a Burger King when I was in college, so I get it. But you don't want to be the same person that's 25, 30 years down the road that's stuck in the same spot because you never tried anything new. At least not even, it doesn't even have to be a career path. You can find something that you're okay with and embrace the suck for 30 years, as long as the world outside of work is trying new things. Next year, I'm gearing up to join a bowling league. I suck at bowling. I'm going to play enough bowling leagues until I win one of them and I'm first place, and I have that little stupid $5 Dollar Tree trophy that they give you, or the certificate or whatever. I think this place that I'm getting ready to play at does little Dollar Tree trophies. I'm going to do that until I get one of those. I'm going to do the same thing with the softball league next year. I'm going to do the same thing with everything I could possibly get my hands on, because it's stuff that I'm not good at, and I'm going to have to learn about being good at it. But this affects everything. So many people will stick with the job they're at because it's normal, it's comfortable. They're not going to jump for that 5, 10, 15% pay raise at that new job because they're scared. They're nervous that it's going to be something that they're uncomfortable with, and they're going to fail, because that's what being uncomfortable is all about, is the possibility of failure. But I think we need to embrace the possibility of failure, because without failing, you don't know where your limits are, and you don't know where to keep pushing, because the limit is really just, something to push through. There's a quote floating around there. I can't remember who originally said it. I remember Will Smith saying it, but I can't remember who said it. But everything you want is on the other side of fear. I feel like that applies to the concept of being uncomfortable. Like, if you want to have awesome stories when you're 90 on your deathbed talking to your grandkids and say, I did this league, I wrestled here, I competed in jiu-jitsu, I have gold medals, bronze medals, all this stuff from all these different sports I did. I skydived, I fell in love and had kids, and now I have you guys. Like, there's so much so much of the life that you want is on the other side of what you're unwilling to do because you're scared or you're uncomfortable. So I think people should try things that are going to make them comfortable with that fact. I use Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as an example right now. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, at least in my case, I trained with a guy that was a Division I wrestler. He walked on, earned a scholarship in his second year. He's 260 pounds and he's 6'1". He lost to an Olympic medalist. Like one of the matches he lost in college, we were all talking about how to beat him because nobody can seem to figure him out except for the coach. I was talking about how to beat him. In the group chat, he sent a thing where the match that he lost in college was to a guy that went on to win some Olympic medal in wrestling. So the only way to beat this guy is be a freak athlete. But either way, you get in bottom mount and you're stuck under somebody in side control or whatever. You got a triangle. Like that shit sucks when this guy that has been wrestling since he was 6 is doing it to you. And you can't get him on his feet because he's a wrestler. You can't beat him in jiu-jitsu because they know how to use everything possible to their strategy. And you just kind of have to figure out how to get through it, survive, and get better. So when this 260-pound monster is sitting directly on my ribs, it's uncomfortable. Or it was 6 months ago. Now it's, not the greatest, but it's a little bit more tolerable. And I could think through the pain and the uncomfortableness to have a clear head on my shoulders instead of panicking and getting myself in a worse spot. Because that could relate to a job. Like you could quit the job you're comfortable at. You could quit the job that you're comfortable with and then jump into a new job that you got an offer for that's 10% more money, but you didn't realize that the work environment is toxic and you can't stand it. So you quit a month later where your old job's already filled your spot. Instead of being like, all right, well, this job sucks. It's time to get back on the hunt and try to find something new. Works with dating, like rejection. All right, this cute girl at the mall doesn't want anything to do with me. Who's next? It's a mindset I think athletes develop early on is that next shot, next play, next everything. And that's where your focus is. But I think it's a good thing for people to develop in general because you're comfortable with everything, no matter what. Good, bad, comfortable, uncomfortable, you're comfortable with it all. Whatever life throws at you, you feel like you can handle with a clear head on your shoulders. And I think that is something that is vastly understated in a world of social media cry for attention, where instead of fixing the problem, you just get a bunch of people to feel sympathy for you. I feel like I went off on like 3 different tangents in the same topic, but the main point is find a way to be comfortable being uncomfortable. Go out, try new things. Whatever you think you suck at is the thing you should probably start next week or today. Whatever, call up your local rec center and, you suck at competitive softball. Call up your local rec center and say, hey, I'm not good at it. If you're not an athlete, do something athletic. If you are an athlete, do something intellectually challenging. Go find a chess tournament and play in that. That shit is hard as hell. I'm like a 1300 ELO player and it is horrible. I just suck at it. And my 1300 is not bad, but it's not great by any stretch of the imagination. And I'm gonna get there one day. I don't know that I'm gonna be a grandmaster, but I'm comfortable getting my ass beat in chess. So that's the video for today. I'm sorry if it was a little rambly. This one was kind of done off the cuff. I have like 3 bullet points that I wanted to talk about. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Y'all have a nice day. Peace out.